Hello everyone, today we'll be going over three literary devices which are simile, metaphor, and symbolism. We're going to be going over the definitions first. So a simile is a figure of speech that makes a direct comparison between two different things with the help of words like or as. These are very common in literature and there's a lot of examples, however, I only picked out two. The first one is she sings like an angel, and the second one, he ran as quick as lightning. The next device is a metaphor, which is very similar to a simile, as they are both figures of speech that make a comparison between two unrelated things. However, a metaphor is more implicit, therefore less obvious than similes. The first example of a metaphor is she has a heart of gold, and the second one is Brian's voice is music to my ears. Lastly, symbolism is the use of symbols to signify ideas and qualities by giving them symbolic meanings that are different from their literal sense. We have two examples for these as well. The first one is a dove. So usually when we think of a dove, we associate that with peace, and the second one is fire or the color red. We usually associate that with like frustration or anger. The first poem that we're going to be looking at is Harlem by Langston Hughes. We're going to be pointing out the similes and the metaphors in the poem, however, we're going to go ahead and read it first. Harlem by Langston Hughes. What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun, or fester like a sore, and then run? Does it stink like rotten meat, or crust and sugar over it like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load, or does it explode? Alright, so let's go back to that first sentence. We're going to go ahead and define the word deferred. So usually when something is described as being deferred, it means it's put on hold or postponed. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and point out the similes now. We're going to use this purple violet color to underline the similes. And as previously mentioned, similes use words like or as, so they're more obvious than metaphors. And we have a couple of these in this poem. The first simile is like a raisin in the sun. The second one is or fester like a sore. The third one is does it stink like rotten meat? The fourth one is or crust and sugar over it like a syrupy sweet. And lastly, we have maybe it just sags like a heavy load. So like a heavy load would be the simile here. So with these similes in mind, the dream deferred is being compared to the raisin in the sun. It's being compared to a sore, a rotten meat, the crust and sugar over a syrupy sweet, and a heavy load. These are very prominent. So when the deferred dream is being compared to a raisin in the sun, I mean, we already know that a raisin is a dried grape. So the fact that it's being further exposed to the sun makes it sound not edible. So therefore, it's practically useless. In that last simile where it says like a heavy load, the deferred dream is being compared to a heavy load, meaning it places a burden on you, so it is physically weighing you down. And lastly, we have one metaphor at the very end. The line reads, or does it explode? Here, the deferred dream is being compared to an object that explodes, potentially a bomb, so that would be a metaphor. The next excerpt that we're going to be looking at is My Heart Leaps Up When I Behold by William Wordsworth. It's very short, and we're going to be pointing out the use of symbolism in this excerpt. My heart leaps up when I behold a rainbow in the sky. So was it when my life began, so is it now I am a man. So be it when I shall grow old. So here we see the use of symbolism, and that would be with the rainbow. The rainbow represents happiness and overall optimism that is carried in this excerpt. And that concludes today's lesson. Thank you so much for watching.